Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Casey and today I'm going to be doing my 36 and 37 week pregnancy update. I will do a belly shot at the end. I'll film that separate because if you can't tell, I'm in the car. I have a couple of minutes to film this. I'll say quickly, it's probably going to rant on because there's so much to update you on while I wait for my mum. So I'm going to film this and then film my belly shot afterwards and edit it together, so it'll be fine. So today I am 37 weeks and 6 days, so tomorrow will be 38 weeks. Go back to when I was, so if I go back to when I was 35 weeks and 6 days, it was a Monday and that was my first antenatal class. I don't know if, I don't know if I spoke about this in the weekly vlog much, but that first class was all about how to, it was all about the birth, so like the different types of birth, different types of pain relief and different positions you can get into, and just things like that, and that went really well. Really did enjoy that. And then on the Tuesday I think I had, on the Tuesday I had a scan and clinic. So my scan was showing that the baby was weighing 7 pounds and 6 ounces already, which is a bit scary. It's not completely accurate, it's like within 20% of that, so it could be slightly smaller, but we'll see. I'm having a big baby, so yeah, he's gonna be chubby. And then that meant that they wanted me to test my diabetes, test for gestational diabetes again. I have been tested before, I don't know if I mentioned that. So they booked an appointment for the Friday that week to have my blood tested. So, and then on the Wednesday I had the home midwife come around because I really want a home birth. And I spoke to her. Her name was Yolanda, and she was amazing. She was really nice. She went through all the risks. My biggest risk is social dissociation. You know, when the shoulder dissociation, when the shoulders get stuck. That's the biggest risk I have at the moment because I'm having a big baby. But she kind of reassured me in the sense that it doesn't necessarily mean that's going to happen, and it can happen to smaller babies. It can just happen to any baby, really. So that put me at peace a little bit. Yeah, so that doesn't necessarily mean that will happen. And she did say if there are showing signs of complications before his head comes out, for example, they will take me to the hospital. They'll rush me to the hospital because they want to be on the safe side. But as soon as the head comes out, that's it, we have to stay at home. So it's a little bit nerve-wracking in that sense. Oh, and I also pick up my pool at 38 weeks, which I believe would be tomorrow. I should pick up the birthing pool from the hospital. She's going to let me know when I can collect it, which I'm hoping is tomorrow. So that went really well on the Wednesday with the home midwife. Well, I'm trying to think if she said anything else like in particular. Just like bits and bobs that I'll need, such as like puppy training pads, a plastic sheet and a bucket, and everything else is in the kit, I believe. I can't think of anything else. And then my parents were there as well while she was talking to me, and they feel a little bit more comfortable about me having a home birth now. My dad was just so against it at first. He still doesn't want me to have a home birth, but I think he's a little bit more at ease with it, and my mum feels a lot more comfortable, which is good. And like my living, I see my dining room, I'm doing it, I've got a settee and that in there. She said it's a perfect place to have it as well. So fingers crossed I can have that. And then I explained to her that there's possibility that I might have gestational diabetes because obviously I'm having my test on the Friday coming. And she said, well, if you are, I can still have a home birth. She said that I wouldn't say no because a lot of women go ahead and do it anyway when they've got high risk. So although it is a high risk pregnancy, she said that I can still have my home birth. So hopefully he comes in time for home birth, because although if I'm overdue, they can induce me. I think I might want to be in the hospital then, because I know he'll be bigger as well, and I'd feel safer in the hospital if I go overdue. So if I don't go overdue, if he comes within the next 2 weeks, home birth. If he doesn't, I think I'm gonna have a hospital birth. That's how I feel. I feel that that's what I want. That's just how I feel comfortable, really. So on the Friday I went for my glucose tolerance test, which is a 2-hour test. You have your blood taken, drink a glucose drink, wait 2 hours, and then have another blood test, and then you can go home. So then the following week, the Monday, so I was 36 weeks and 6 days at this point. The Monday we had another antenatal class. So you have 2 antenatal classes. Well, where I'm from anyway, you have 2. And the second one's all about how to look after the newborn. So it's like how to wash them properly, how to feed them, whether it's bottle or breast, how to express your breast milk as well, which was really interesting. And so how to feed them, wash them, change the nappy, and it was really informative. I recommend that if you are a first time mum, so like or dad, like your partner's having a baby or you're having a baby, go to antenatal classes. I'm socially awkward and I felt really nervous about going, but I just feel like it was a brilliant, like it was just brilliant. Now I feel so much more comfortable and confident in myself that I can look after a baby, whereas before I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, and now I feel like I have a good idea. Obviously I'm gonna have loads of help around me, but like even Mike, my partner, I think he found it very helpful too. So yeah, definitely if you have a chance or an opportunity to go to antenatal classes, do it. Like honestly, it was really informative. So, and like what type of poos to look for at the first couple of days and stuff like that, because if you don't go, you don't know, do you? So yeah, that was really good. And then the Tuesday I got a phone call that said that I am diabetic, so I have gestational diabetics. So that meant that gestational diabetes is what I mean. So that meant that I had to go to a diabetes class the next day. So I went to the class, I spoke to the diabetic midwife. She went through basically how to treat it with a diet rather than medication, because it wasn't bad enough to treat with medication. No one there had to do it with medication. It was like a group of us. I think there was like 6 women there. So it was all diet based, so what you can eat and what you can't eat, and we have to test our blood. And I got a booklet on when I've got to write down what my blood levels are and stuff. And actually it's only gone over twice in the last week, which seems to be good. So you know, that's not too bad. And I'm seeing her today actually, because today's Monday. So but then so that was Wednesday was the diabetic class thing about how to treat your diabetes properly. And then Thursday I had a midwife appointment with my midwife, and Wednesday he hadn't moved very much at all, which was a little bit concerning. So I did that Wednesday night I laid on my left side and did a 2-hour bump count, and he did move 10 times within the 2 hours. So I was able to go to sleep basically. Like I knew that it was okay for me to go to sleep. So when I went to my midwife appointment, again he hadn't moved very much, like especially that night. He usually moves a lot during the night. So I went. Sorry, going back on track. So I went to my midwife appointment, and she checked his heartbeat. And that's also why I felt like I could go to sleep. I knew I had midwife the next day and that she'll check his heartbeat, and his heartbeat came back absolutely fine. But again, he still hadn't been moving very much. So she said to be on the safe side, like my blood pressure was good, my urine came back okay, but to be on the safe side, go up to the hospital to triage and get them to monitor him. So my sister took me up to triage. Well, she came with me, and they put him on monitors, and he started moving eventually, like normally, for that time of day, and he was doing fine. He was absolutely fine, brilliant. So went home on the Thursday, and everything was really well. Oh, and also that also meant that because I'm diabetic, I could no longer see the same midwife. I have to see the diabetes midwife instead of the midwife I had, which her name was Blessing, and she was the best. She was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I loved her to bits. But it's not too bad because she's also part of the home midwife team. So if I do go into labour at home and I have my home birth, she might be there. So I might be able to see her either way, or she might come round after I've had the baby, because you have visitors after you've had the baby, like midwife. 'Cause the midwife comes around after you've had the baby, so I might see her again, hopefully. Because no, she did all the antenatal classes. She done all my midwife up to that point and stuff like that. I loved her to bits. So it's a shame that she's not going to be my midwife anymore. But this new midwife, Liz, the diabetic one, she's nice too. So it's not like it's alright. It's fine. I'm not that fussed really. But Liz doesn't want me to have a home birth. She's like, oh, have you spoke to the home midwife? She's sure that she's allowing you to do this and stuff like that. So she doesn't really want me to have a home birth. So it's up to me. I'm the one who gets to take the risk, so it's completely up to me. So yeah, that was Thursday, and then Friday evening, I just felt like I was leaking, like I had been for the last couple of days. I felt like something, like I kept feeling damp, and I was like, I know I haven't wet myself or anything like that. So I was like, I don't know, it just doesn't feel right. So I phoned the birth centre to speak to one of the midwives, because it was late and I didn't want to ring my midwife. I don't know why, I just don't like to interrupt people, I guess. So, and they said, oh, to come up to triage again so they can check you to see if your waters have broke. So I went up there, like, it was nothing to be concerned about or nothing to be worried about. Went up there, monitored me again for half an hour. Baby's fine, we know baby's fine. And then they examined me internally down there, and my waters hadn't gone. So, but they said that my cervix is looking like it's almost ready, which I think means like it's getting softer, which is kind of scary, not gonna lie. So that was that. Went home, everything's been fine. And then last night, I've been feeling like I'm gonna, like it's been happening a little bit, but then like last night it was like consistent. It felt like I'm gonna come on my period. I know you get like the dull aches just before your period. It's not quite period pain, but it's almost. So I don't know if that means that he's on his way or not, or if I'm gonna get Braxton Hicks or something, because I haven't had any Braxton Hicks. I haven't really had any other symptoms, other than I keep getting like tiny twinges, and that's it really. I've rambled on for a long while. I'm trying to think if I've left anything out. I don't think I have. That's basically what's happened in the last 2 weeks. Before then, like between 32 and 36 weeks, nothing really major's happened. I'm still getting pelvic pain when I walk around. Not as much. It depends on the day and how I'm doing. When I'm sleeping and I turn around, I can feel my pelvis click. It's really gross. It doesn't hurt, but it just sounds gross. So yeah, pelvis pain is probably the biggest nuisance at the moment, actually, is pelvis pain. And I'm tired a lot. I don't know if it's my thyroxine. I might ask my midwife about it today, because I've got underactive thyroid. I'm taking more thyroxine than I would like if I wasn't pregnant, but I don't know if I'm taking enough, because I'm starting to feel really tired all the time now, and that's why I haven't made many YouTube videos, because I just want to go to sleep. Like, I just have no energy lately. So I'll have to see if they want me to be tested for that again, but like I've only got 2 weeks left now, so, because I think that I also got asked about if I'm going to be induced, because of the diabetes, how long will they let me go before he comes, and if they can induce me at home, because I know they can, I know at home they can induce you, but they don't break your waters. So I don't know if I don't know what they do exactly, so I'll have to ask and see what they say. But that's not my update. I will show you my bump shortly after this clip. But that's it for now, I think. So I thought I'd just quickly show you my 38 week belly. So I'm actually 38 weeks today. So although this is my 36 and 37 week update, this is actually my 38 week belly, if that makes sense. So I'm wearing quite a baggy shirt, so you can't really tell much, and then I'm not wearing a very flattering top here, but if I just pull this off a bit, this is what it kind of looks like from the side, and then like from the front, and then as you can see I do have a couple of new stretch marks just here and here, but they're very, I don't know if they're not that big. These are white ones, are old ones that they have got longer, but it doesn't bother me. And then that's what it looks like at the moment. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you all in my next video.